welcome back to Interpreting the Scares! That's right, we're back at it on our month-long journey through the nightmares. Remember, I'm taking a look at count them, 3 horror films today alone to finish out my Interpreting the Scares event, and this is the second one. Often considered M. Night Shyamalan's greatest film ever made, it's The Sixth Sense. Following an unexpected tragedy, a child psychologist named Malcolm Crowe meets a 9-year-old boy named Cole Sear who's hiding a dark secret. I'm gonna say it right now, guys, this is going to be a spoiler-filled review because honestly, I don't know how else to talk about this movie. This is one of the, if not the most, talked about films with a twist ending that I've ever seen. It's one of the best, actually. It's the type of movie where you watch it once, you can never see it that way again, because every single time you see it again, it's a completely different experience. So when I saw this for the millionth time, it's that second experience that you have over and over again. I've never had the first time experience ever again because you can't, because it's such an exciting revelation once you watch it. So if you've never seen The Sixth Sense, guys, please turn off my review. I don't want to spoil it for you. You probably already know what I'm talking about because it's pretty much common knowledge at this point what's going on in this movie, but I'll give you a second. Alright, you still there? Alright, I'm gonna spoil you anyways. So, as we all know, The Sixth Sense is a film that revolves around Bruce Willis's character, who's a psychologist following around this kid trying to help him cope with whatever problem that he has. And by the end of the film, we all know that the secret that Cole has is that I see dead people, right? He sees ghosts. They don't know that they're ghosts. They walk around like they're just normal people and they want him to do things. And it turns out Bruce Willis is one of these dead people all along. And the second time that you watch it, it is so obnoxiously obvious that he's dead that you want to smack yourself for not knowing it in the first place. I mean, the film opens up with him getting shot, and then the next scene, they don't even explain it. And throughout the movie, he's having dinner with his wife, who doesn't talk to him. He's sitting down with Cole's mother, who's not talking to him either. The only person talking to him is Cole. How is it this ridiculously hard to notice that the guy is not living? Especially when you learn that Cole's secret is that he sees dead people. How do you not know at that point that he's dead? I can't answer that. I can tell you that when I first saw it, I had just turned, what, 11, 12? I was young, so it was scary, first. And second of all, at that point in Hollywood, having twist endings wasn't as saturated as it is now. If it was, then I feel like if you go into The Sixth Sense for the very first time, you're gonna catch on pretty quick. But back in 1999 when it first came out, that wasn't really a thing, so it really did cause a stir. But even if it didn't, again, I was young, and I was just really pulled into this very scary story. The ambiance of the film in general has always been accurately spooky. Still to this day, when I watched it, I was like, this is dark, this is tense. Part of that has to do with the performances here, especially from Cole, who has the challenge of being a deeply terrified child. And he does a spectacular job. And you know what? Bruce Willis does as well. And this is a kind of a role that's not usual for Bruce Willis. Not then, not now, especially not now. But he has to pull out some strengths, you know, he has to pull out a little bit of emotion when it comes down to his separation with his wife. He has to pull out some emotion when it comes down to having this struggle about wanting to help this kid and not knowing how. He pulls that off pretty well. M. Night Shyamalan has always been a director that I think was very good at showcasing ambiance and atmosphere of how a film should feel. And I still feel that to this day. I saw the trailer to his latest film, The Knock at the Cabin. I thought it looked really good. I think everybody who's everybody, even those that hate Shyamalan, still love this movie because it's something spectacular. I just love this movie. I think when it comes down to movies with twist endings, this is the best. It's still effective in what it does. It's still a very well-made film all around. I have very little to complain about this film. Music is also really powerful. I actually liken it to the music that you see in Signs. I don't know if it's the same composer. Hold on. The composer is James Newton Howard, and James Newton Howard also did Signs. Did he do Unbreakable? He did. So he did the first 3, at least, of M. Night Shyamalan's works, and it makes sense because atmospherically, a lot of that goes into the music specifically, and the music sounds remarkably similar in all 3 movies. Let's take a look at what I scored The Sixth Sense, which was an A+ letter grade. Overall score of what? Yeah, 99%. 99 out of 100 possible stars. If you're wondering on what's the 1%, you know, what's the one thing that didn't work for me where everything else did? And because my scoring spreadsheet is very, very specific, I can tell you it's characters. So with characters, I had to ask myself, is every single character in this film good? Are they all memorable? Are they, you know, whatever? Do they have all the different attributes that I look for in a character, or do they not? A lot of them do, specifically Malcolm and Cole. Even some of the ghosts have a lot of character attributes that I look for. But there's also some side characters that unfortunately don't. Cole's mother doesn't really have all that much that I look for in a character whatsoever, even though it is played by Toni Collette. Bruce Willis's wife, same exact thing. She is very forgettable as a character. She's important, she is vital, but she's also, you know, very forgettable. When you think back to this movie, you're thinking only to Malcolm and Cole and not any other character. You might think about their importance to the story, their function as to what's going on, but them as characters, you're gonna forget. So when it comes down to how I scored characters, out of 4 possible stars, I gave it 3. Because there is something to be said about how incredibly memorable and important Malcolm and Cole are, and what they offer to the film, and what revelations you find out along the way. But other characters? But yeah, that's the only thing that I have to complain about this film. If you can even call that a complaint, that's a good score. 3 out of 4. Everything else, I scored perfect. Acting, casting, importance, chemistry, dialogue, balance, pacing, story depth, originality, interesting, visuals, cinematography, editing, advertising, music and sound, introduction, inciting, incident, obstacles, climax, resolution, rewatchability, fun experience, impulse to buy or own it, impulse to talk about it or recommend it, or how engaging it is as a whole. I rated all of those perfect points because I couldn't find a single flaw in any of those areas. This is a downright near perfect film on all fronts, and it creates a lasting memory that you won't forget for the rest of your life. But what about you guys? Do you guys hate The Sixth Sense just because you hate M. Night? Or do you love it? Do you realize how well it's made and how much of an impact it truly does make? Let me know in the comment section down below, and as for YouTube, you guys know what to do. Hit the like, hit the subscribe button, and hit the bell to be notified when I come out with my last Halloween review. And until then, peace out.